Gentlemen, before we begin, let me ask you a very simple question. How many glasses of plain water have you had today? 2, 3, a full bottle since this morning. A lot of men answer with confidence. Doctor, I drink plenty of water. I never let myself get dehydrated. And I understand that feeling. For years, we have been taught that if you drink enough water, you are doing the right thing. You are being healthy. You are checking the box. But here is a truth that can be a little uncomfortable, especially for men after 50 and even more after 60. Plain water might be doing only one job for you right now. It might be helping you keep going, but it may not be helping you feel strong. Have you noticed this? There are days you drink water steadily, yet you still feel tired. You sleep a full night, yet you wake up heavy, dry-mouthed, and slow to start. You still walk, you still do light workouts, but recovery feels slower. Muscles feel tighter, joints crack more, and the overall sense of circulation in your body feels like it has slowed down. Some men do not like to say this out loud, but in my urology clinic, men say it honestly. Sometimes your masculine performance can feel affected too, not because you are finished, not because you are past your prime, but because your body is quietly missing something it used to have. My name is Dr. Rena Miller. I am a urologist, and I have spent 20 years working with men's health, especially men over 50 and over 60. I have met countless disciplined men who drink water, eat reasonably well, and still feel like their battery drains faster than it used to, like their body does not respond the same way. And today, I want to share a perspective that is rarely explained clearly. It is not only how much water you drink, it is whether that water actually helps your body recharge. If you stay with me until near the end of this video, I will give you a simple daily habit in 3 quick steps. It is practical. It fits real life. It helps turn your daily glass of water into something that supports blood flow, clearer energy, deeper sleep, better recovery, and yes, a steadier sense of masculine vitality in a natural way. Not a fake buzz, not a stimulant rush that makes your heart pound, a calm, durable kind of energy, the kind that feels grounded, the kind many men describe as feeling like themselves again. But do not skip ahead. If you only hear the beginning, you will understand the why, but you will miss the how. And I promise you, the how is clear, step by step, simple enough to start tomorrow morning. And one more thing before we dive in. If topics like this help you, tap like, subscribe to Male Vitality Center, and leave me a comment telling me where you are watching from. California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, a small town or a big city. I read a lot of comments because sometimes one sentence like, "Doctor, that is exactly me," tells me I am speaking to something many men are quietly dealing with. Let me say this plainly. After 50, and especially after 60, your body changes the rules. A lot of men are still playing by the old rules. The old rule is simple. If you feel thirsty, drink. If you drink enough, you are fine. The new rule is this. You can drink plenty, and the water still does not arrive where it needs to go. It just passes through. And when water only passes through, you can develop a strange kind of dehydration that I call cellular dehydration. On the outside, you are drinking. On the inside, your cells are still struggling. Why does this happen? First, your thirst signal can become less sensitive with age. Your brain may not sound the alarm as strongly as it did when you were younger. You think you are fine, but your body is quietly behind. Second, your kidneys and your digestive system may not handle mineral balance as smoothly as they once did. Some men drink water and end up running to the bathroom quickly. Others hold fluid and feel puffy and heavy. Either way, that can be a sign of imbalance. Third, and this is the most important point, your cells need the right conditions to hold on to water. Without those conditions, water is like pouring a bucket onto hard, dry ground. It runs off the surface instead of soaking in. When your cells cannot hold water well, your body starts sending signals. At first, it is fatigue, brain fog, slow mornings, then dry skin, dry lips, stiff joints, tight muscles, slower recovery after activity. And then there is a signal many men do not want to admit, but it matters. Circulation in sensitive areas may not feel the way it used to. I am not saying this to scare you. I am saying it so you see the whole picture, because cellular hydration is not only about thirst, it is closely tied to blood flow. Water in your body is not only about volume, it influences flexibility, it influences flow. Think back to the last time you truly felt well hydrated, not just because you drank water, but because your mind felt sharp, your body felt lighter, your steps felt steady, and you slept and woke up feeling refreshed. If it has been a long time since you felt that, I want you to stay calm. It may not mean you are aging faster. It may mean you are missing what your body uses to turn water into vitality. And in the next part, I will tell you what that missing piece often is. It is not a miracle. It is not a rare secret. It is ordinary, but it is often forgotten in the daily routine of men after 50. I want you to imagine your body as a well-built engine. Water is like fuel, but fuel alone does not make an engine run. You need a spark, you need an electrical system. Inside your body, that spark comes from minerals, also called electrolytes. Every heartbeat, every muscle contraction, every nerve signal, every tiny reflex you do not even notice is guided by small electrical signals that are absolutely essential. When you are younger, you often absorb nutrients more easily, and your body balanced minerals more smoothly. After 50, and especially after 60, mineral absorption and storage are not as effortless. That is why I hear men tell me, "Doctor, I drink water, but I still feel dry. I exercise, but I still feel sluggish. I sleep, but I still wake up tired." On the surface, it seems confusing. At the level of your cells, it makes sense. Pure filtered water has very few minerals. That means it can make you feel like you are doing something healthy, but it may not be helping your body recharge from the inside. And when your body is short on certain minerals, the electrical communication between cells starts to weaken. I often describe it like having weak Wi-Fi at home. Sometimes you connect, sometimes it drops. So one day you feel okay, the next day you crash, you feel clear in the morning, then flat by afternoon. You sleep at night, yet you still wake up drained. Your system feels inconsistent. This is why I talk about hydration with electrolytes. In plain language, it means drinking water in a way that helps the water actually enter your cells and stay there. Now, there are several minerals involved in this story. But if you asked me, doctor, if I can start with just one important mineral after 50, which one should it be? My answer is immediate: magnesium. Magnesium helps your body release tension. It helps relax blood vessels. It helps relax muscles. It helps calm an overworked nervous system. And when your body can relax, flow improves. When flow improves, energy becomes steadier. When energy becomes steadier, a man often starts to feel like himself again. But do not rush out and buy something just yet. The most important part is not only what to take, it is how to do it correctly, and who should not do it this way. I will explain that carefully when we get to the simple routine, so you can aim for results and safety at the same time. Let me explain magnesium in the simplest way. Have you noticed how many men after 50 feel tense almost all the time? Sleep feels lighter, muscles cramp more easily, the neck and shoulders feel tight. Blood pressure can be harder to keep stable. Even when you are sitting, your system can feel like it is bracing. Part of that is because the body can drift toward a tightened state with age, more clenching, less releasing, and when your body stays tightened for years, circulation cannot feel smooth. Inside muscle tissue, there is a balance between contraction and relaxation. Calcium tends to support contraction. Magnesium supports relaxation. It is a dance. If magnesium is low, the dance gets out of rhythm. The body contracts more than it releases. And this is not only about your biceps or your shoulders. It also affects the smooth muscle in blood vessels. Imagine a garden hose that is gently squeezed all day long. Water still flows, but it is not free. It is not open. That is the heavy, stubborn feeling of circulation many men describe. What I like about magnesium is that it does not create a fake high. It does not push you into a wired state. It is more like loosening a knot inside you. When that knot loosens, sleep can become deeper. Muscles can release more easily. The mind can feel clearer. Now, let me give you a practical reference point. Many nutrition sources list the recommended intake of magnesium for men over 51 at about 420 milligrams per day. And when magnesium comes from supplements, many sources set an upper limit around 350 milligrams per day from supplements specifically, mainly to reduce digestive side effects like diarrhea. I share these numbers so you understand the principle. Start modestly. Do not overdo it. Read the label. Begin low. See how your body responds. Many men tolerate magnesium glycinate well, but every body is different. Is magnesium alone enough? Sometimes magnesium is the foundation. It opens the door. But to help water enter cells and stay balanced, the body often needs other minerals working in harmony. Let me explain these in a real-life way, so it does not feel like medical school. Sodium, when used correctly and very sparingly, can help move water into cells through electrolyte balance. But sodium from heavily processed foods like instant noodles, deli meats, packaged snacks, and canned soups can push you in the wrong direction. It can worsen imbalance and make you feel heavy. Some less processed salt options exist, but I need to say this clearly. If you have high blood pressure that is difficult to control, heart failure, kidney disease, or if your clinician has told you to limit salt, do not add salt on your own. This must be personal. Right person, right amount, right context. Potassium is a balancing mineral. It relates to heart rhythm, nerve function, muscle control, and it balances sodium. But potassium is also the mineral I am most cautious about. If you have kidney disease or you take certain heart and blood pressure medications, potassium levels can rise too high. That can be dangerous. So with potassium, I usually prefer food first for most people. And if you use electrolyte products, you must read labels carefully and know whether you are in a higher risk group. Then there is zinc. Many men care about zinc because it is connected to immune health and male hormone function. Zinc is not a miracle drug, but used appropriately, it can be a helpful piece. And like everything else, more is not better. Many nutrition sources list the upper limit for adults as 40 milligrams per day from all sources to reduce risk of problems from overuse. If this feels like a lot of information, stay with me. The routine I will give you is simple. The key idea is this. Water is just water until your body has what it needs to hold it and use it. And for many men after 50, the missing piece often begins with magnesium. Now, let us turn this into something you can actually do tomorrow morning. Knowledge that never becomes a habit stays stuck in your head. I want this to become a calm routine you can repeat. I call it a daily routine in 3 steps. No fancy equipment, no extreme protocol, just consistency and moderation. The first step is in the morning, soon after you wake up. Before coffee, before you rush into the day, pour a large glass of water, add magnesium according to the product label, and start with a lower amount because everyone responds differently, especially the digestive system. If your blood pressure is stable and your clinician has not told you to limit salt, you can add a tiny pinch of a natural salt to support electrolyte balance. I want to emphasize tiny. And if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart failure, kidney disease, or you have been told to restrict salt, skip the salt completely. Do not experiment with it. Stir slowly, drink calmly, and as you sip, take one deep breath. Sometimes what a man needs in the morning is not only hydration, it is a signal to his nervous system that says, slow down, I am taking care of myself. The second step is around midday, before that common afternoon slump many men notice after 50. Have another glass of water. If you choose to use zinc, this is often a reasonable time. Use an appropriate form, follow the label, and remember the principle of moderation. If your stomach is sensitive, take it after food. And if you already take other supplements, look at the total zinc you get in a day so you do not accidentally stack doses. The third step is in the evening, after dinner or after light movement. This is where you help your body settle into a sleep-ready state. Here, I prefer potassium from food first for most people. Leafy greens, beans, and whole foods tend to be safer for many. If you decide to use an electrolyte product that contains potassium, choose one with low sugar, read the label carefully, and start low. And I need to say this clearly because it matters. If you have kidney disease, heart failure, or you take medications that can raise potassium levels, including certain blood pressure and heart medications, you must speak with your clinician before supplementing potassium. High potassium can be serious. I know it may sound inconvenient, but my goal is to help you improve vitality safely, not by taking risks. Do these 3 steps for 21 days. Do not look for an overnight miracle. Smart men do not chase miracles. Smart men build the right habits. And when you do this correctly, the body often responds quietly. One morning you realize your mouth is not as dry. One afternoon you realize you do not need a second cup of coffee. One night you realize you slept more deeply and woke up less tense. These are small changes, but when they stack, they create something deeply masculine. The feeling that you are getting control of your body back. Let me tell you what many men describe when they do this consistently, without going overboard, and with respect for their body. The first week often feels simply more comfortable. Mornings can feel less dry, the head can feel less heavy, getting out of bed can feel slightly easier. It is not a dramatic transformation. It is more like, I feel less stuck. And for a man over 60, feeling less stuck is a real gift. In the second week, many men begin to notice steadier daytime energy. That mid-afternoon crash becomes less intense. They rely less on caffeine to push through. Life is still busy, stress still exists, but the body does not give up as quickly. And the best part is the quality of the energy. It is not jittery. It is not anxious. It feels stable. The kind of energy where you sit down, focus is clearer, thinking feels sharper, and mood is more even. By the third week, the body can start to feel smoother in ways you assumed were purely age. Sleep becomes deeper. Muscles release more easily. Recovery after activity improves. Some men tell me their skin looks healthier and their face looks less tense in the morning. And I will say this gently as a urologist. When circulation improves, some men also notice support in masculine performance in a more natural way. I do not promise anything extreme because every man is different. Medical conditions, stress levels, and lifestyle all matter. But the principle is real. Better circulation supports better function. Better function supports confidence. And confidence is not loud. Confidence is calm. Here's the sentence I want you to remember. Aging is natural, but constant decline, constant depletion, and living in a state of low power is not always destiny. Many things we label as aging are actually quiet deficiencies. They are the body's signaling systems weakening, like having weak Wi-Fi in your home. You do not need a new house, you need a stronger signal. And sometimes that stronger signal begins with upgrading the way you hydrate. To keep results long-term, do not treat this like a short trend you abandon. Treat it like daily maintenance. Keep eating real food when you can. Prioritize vegetables, good protein, and consistent sleep. Move your body in a way that fits your joints and your schedule. And again, if you have significant medical conditions or you take long-term medications, especially heart and kidney-related medications, talk with your clinician before using electrolyte supplements, especially potassium. I want you improving for the long run, not taking shortcuts. Now I want you to do one very specific thing. Tomorrow morning, pour a glass of water, start with magnesium in a moderate way, follow the label, and drink like a man reclaiming ownership of his body. Do it for 21 days. Observe your system the way you would observe a good vehicle after a proper tune-up. It does not scream. It just runs smoother. If this video matched what you are feeling, tap like, subscribe to Male Vitality Center, and share it with a friend you know is tired, drained, and wondering why his vitality is slipping. And before you go, leave me a comment. Which mineral will you start with first? Magnesium to relax and sleep deeper. Zinc to support immune and hormonal health. Or careful evening electrolyte balance with food first. Be honest, I read every comment. And I will make a follow-up video answering a question I hear constantly. Who should not do this kind of upgraded hydration, and what signs mean you should get a deeper health check instead of experimenting on your own? I am Dr. Rena Miller, a urologist with 20 years of experience supporting men's health. I do not want you merely getting through the day. I want you living with strength, steady vitality, and that calm confidence that comes from understanding your own body. One final note, this content is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have medical conditions, symptoms, or questions about supplements, please speak with a qualified healthcare professional. I will see you in the next video. And remember, sometimes a small change in your daily glass of water can help your whole system come back online.